chances are never given, they took them like interceptions. So throw that pass, I be the cornerback. Me and Lauren, MMG gon' bring that Warner back.
My ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live it. They gon' love me for my ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live it. They gon' love me for my ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live it.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Peter Vrionis, back with another episode of the Press Box Hat Trick. And today I'm joined by Carleton Ravens basketball player Alain Louis, who also played some summer ball for the Ottawa Blackjacks in the CEBL. So, my guy, thank you so much for being here, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking time and getting to know me better and everything else.
Yo, well, I've always said it, bro. You're the best kept secret in a Huntsick, bro. Best kept secret. Yeah, so I appreciate you being on here and taking the time. It means a lot. People are going to know your name soon, that's for sure. First, though, before we get started, I want to say a little story that I have about Alain and the first time that I saw this dude play. So I might have a little bit of bias. He's from my hood, but I'm going to say it. He's the best player that I've ever hooped with, guaranteed, like no doubt in my mind. So I remember the first time we played, it was just this like loud dude that knew he was better than everybody, cocky guy. He comes there, you give him the ball, he's busting everybody's ass, everybody. So I usually play with my boys, but that was the day that I split up with them, and he picked me up. Alain picked me up. He didn't even know that I could hoop. Like, it didn't even matter, though. So he had the ball every single play. He would score on the low post, and he's a guard. And then my boy comes to me after the game, and he tells me, yo, I've never been shit on like that in my life. And you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names, though, because we're going to preserve his legacy over here. So, but yeah, bro, you busted his ass, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? Like, you were on one that day, and that's just how you play all the time. Like, you're 100% all the time, and that's why you're nice like that. So you play for the Carleton Ravens right now. You're in your last year of eligibility. Which, by the way, is the best program in U Sports basketball history. There's not a doubt. The most winning franchise, most winning program, whatever you want to call it, that's guaranteed. But why did you pick Carleton over other schools? Because you for sure had interest from other schools, right?
Yeah. Okay, so since I was young, my dream was to play in the States, University, NCAA D1, but at some point my grades came into a wall, and I couldn't go D1. So I was like, whoa, I'm gonna have to stay here. And when I knew I had to stay here, I had a couple choices. Like, obviously, a lot of schools reached out, but the two schools that I really knew were gonna be best for me as a person were Ryerson and Carleton. So when it came down to the choices, my first visit was at Carleton, and bro, I stepped on campus and they put me in a scrimmage with the older cats and everything, and I just saw how competitive they were, and I was like, yo, I can relate to this because, I'm too competitive. So I was like, yo, this is the place for me. So it was an easy choice, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my point. Like, you're a really competitive guy. You love to win, and that's all that Carleton does. They win. So, obviously, I think you could have easily gone to any other school in Canada and averaged 20 a game. There's no doubt in my mind. But you went there, you kind of took a lesser role. You sacrificed a little bit of yourself, a little bit of your own personal success to shine as the team. And I mean that speaks to like how you are as a ball player as well. You know, you're a winner. That's all you
Hmm.
care about. But it must have been a tough choice though, like going there and knowing that you would have a lesser role, right?
Yeah, like when I joined the team, I understood. I understood it was more of a team thing. It was more of a yo, we're gonna put it together and we're gonna try to win every time. So I stepped in and I wasn't playing much, but I never I got mad at some points because yo in my head I'm coming in, I'm like yo, I know I'm better than all of these guys. I should play, but what they taught me was, bro, sometimes it's not about talent. It's not about what you can actually do. It's about fitting in. How well can you fit in right away? And at first, I didn't fit in because I wasn't fully into it. But it took me a couple of years. But as soon as I bought in completely, bro, there was no like, bro, starters couldn't guard me. Like it's crazy how I came off the bench, but bro, I played starters minutes. So it's to a point where I had to get humble. I had to be like, bro, I'm gonna be off the bench, but I'm gonna try and play well every time. I'm gonna try to be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about you is that you don't have these crazy numbers. You don't average 30 a game. You don't do that, but you're efficient. Like you'll
Hmm.
probably play 15 to 20 minutes a game, but you're instant offense. Like
Hmm.
you get other guys involved. I looked at your stats. You averaged in your last year what, 14 minutes a game and 8 points in those 14 minutes, which is
Yeah.
which is quite a bit. That's quick offense off the bench, like microwave type stuff, and that's who you are. Like you get in the game and you impact the game right away. Like
Yeah.
and you also had a stretch of like 3 or 4 games where you averaged 20 points a game. So
Hmm.
I was reading up on that and that's the type of player you are for sure. And I think that's gonna carry over to the next level as well. Like it's obvious that
Yeah.
stuff translates.
Yeah, like I always told my dad, yo, as soon as they let me do what I do, it doesn't matter how much I score, but if you watch the games, you're gonna see I impact winning. And to me, that's more important than scoring 20 and losing, or scoring 20 and barely winning. Like I'm all about playing the right way, and which is why in my life, I feel like I've never taken the easy road. Like I understand, I wake up every day and I have this chip. Like I have to be better. I have to be better than everybody else. I have to outwork, outdo. Like that's just who I am.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is that the world is lucky you're not 6'7". They're not safe. They wouldn't be safe out there. Let's get
I
that
would
out
have
the
been
way.
mean. I would have been mean. I would have
I
been
don't
mean.
even want to see that in action. I don't want to see that. So I want to ask you a little bit about your first year in the Canadian Elite Basketball League with the Ottawa Blackjacks. Um,
Hmm.
it was your rookie year. You told me that you were on like this student contract type thing, so you were able to play summer ball before your last year of eligibility. Correct me if I'm wrong. But how was that? How was that first year with the Blackjacks? How did it go?
Okay, so when I came in a weird way because normally the students they get drafted, but something happened behind the scenes, and I did not get drafted. And it was to a point where I came in, they brought me in, and they had no real idea of who I was as a player. And they had drafted 3 guys from the U Sports. So in my head, I'm like, yo, bro, I truly believe I'm the best player in the whole U Sports. So I understood they're bringing me in just to bring an extra body. But in my head, I'm like, if you give me the chance, I will make this team over all of them. So we get into training camp, and it's to a point where I'm outplaying them, and I'm even outplaying their pros. So they're like, "Yo, we might have to sign this kid," and it gets to a point where they actually sign me, and we start playing. I come off the bench. I play a little, but I impact winning. The coaches are like, yo, this kid can play. We might have to play him. Next thing you know, after 4 games, I'm the starting point guard. So it went from me barely being here to, yo, they understood, yo, this kid can impact winning. This kid, we want to keep him here and trying to build with him because he's going to be good in the next 10 years. So that's pretty much my story this summer. Like, I knew I had to come in and be good right away, so that's what I did. And I outworked a lot of guys, but that's who I am. Like, I'm all right with being the guy that you're gonna overlook, because at the end I wake up every day and I feel like, yo, I'm not the best. So I constantly work, I constantly outwork to trying to prove shit.
Well, yeah, that's the point I was trying to make before. Like my story with you at the park, it's like I had no idea who you were. I mean, it's not like I'm a pro scout or anything. It doesn't matter if I know who you are, but everybody knows Daddy. Everybody knows all those other guys. And then you come in the park and you're the best one there. And it's like, where's this guy coming from? And that's the type of like noticeability that you have. Like you walk into a gym, you're this like you're an average sized guy. You're not this huge guy, and then you just go to work and you're busting guys' ass, and it's like, damn, this guy can hoop. This guy can really fucking hoop, and that's the type of player that you are. Like people are gonna know that pretty shortly, and I know that you had a good time in the CEBL, but I know that there's more for you beyond that for sure.
Oh, there's way more,
For
more.
sure. Time will tell, bro. Time will tell.
For sure.
But now I want to ask you, what's the part of your game that took the biggest leap for with the Ottawa Blackjacks?
To me, it was more understanding where I was in terms of playing pro, like what I was missing and what I could really get into that last year and improve on. Because before I went into this year, basically agents were telling me, yo, you're ready to go pro right now. You can make money right now. You can leave right now. We have you. We have something for you. Good leagues right away, ready. But in my head, I talked to my dad, I talked to some coaches, and they always felt like, yo, you need an end between game. Like you need to use your floater more. You need to shoot some pull-ups more. And I thought about it and I was like, yo, they're right. And I'm not the kind of guy, even though I can sound cocky and stuff, but I listen. If there's one thing is I listen. And what I felt like was, bro, they're right. And you need to put work on this specific part of your game, because I'm not the biggest guy. I finish well, but I'm not the biggest guy. So I understand, to make the game easier, you might need to take these shots. So what I'm going to do is stay one more year and just keep building off of that.
Yeah, that definitely that's a really important part of the game for a point guard for sure. And like you said, you're not the biggest guy, but you finish very well around the rim with both hands. You're a lefty, So you got a ton of advantages as well. You know, like your game is not limited. That's for sure. You keep expanding. Every time I see you hoop, you add something new to your game, and that's it speaks volumes to your work ethic for sure. And speaking of your work ethic, the pandemic usually that would have hurt an athlete, right? But I think it helped you. What do you think?
So me, at the start of the pandemic, I took a little step back, setbacks, because when I played my last year at Carlton, when we actually played, I got hurt. I was hurt for half of the year. So at the end, I understood I needed a break. And physios and people were telling me, you need to take a break because, bro, I was borderline. I almost tore my hip flexor completely. I almost tore it completely. So they told me to take a step back and just rest. Because, bro, at some point I could barely walk. And my mom was worried. Everybody around me were like, yo, bro, you need to rest. And me, you know me, I'm always hooping. So I was like, okay, damn, I'm going to take it. So I took a real rest for 3 months, 3 months, like no real basketball. So I had to build back, get back in shape. But as soon as I got back, I understood you're a little late, so you have to work more. So I started working more, working. And the thing was with me is I don't think I ever stopped improving because I watch so much basketball. All I do is watch basketball. So by watching, I noticed some things. What watching others, watching me play, I'm like, yo, you can do this better. You can add this from this guy to your game. So just by doing this mentally, I'm getting better. And people don't get it yet, but mental is such a big aspect of basketball. So I was like, yo, you're good. Get back in shape, jump, run, and then everything's good.
Yeah, well,
That's what I did.
a lot of guys stop putting in work. You know, like once the gyms closed, once the seasons were halted, a lot of guys just stop. You know, and they don't do that work on their own. But I saw you, like I saw it firsthand. Like we were all looking for places to hoop, and you were the first one there from morning to night, putting work
Yeah,
in. So even though you had those 3 months off, you were catching up and you caught up pretty quickly
for
and you
sure.
didn't stop. Like throughout the entirety of the pandemic, you kept going. And I really think that you became a better basketball player in that time, from what I saw, at least.
Sure.
What do you think? Yeah.
For sure. Like, bro, leaps and bounds. Like it's crazy. Just mentally how the game is just slowing down year by year. Like, yo, I'm playing, but I'm playing fast, but I'm seeing things slowly.
Yeah.
So just I mean it's more experience, but it's just being smarter and seeing things.
Yeah. Well, when the game slows down for you, that's when you know you're starting to figure it out. For
Yeah.
sure. Are you? So I want to ask you as well. What are you like focusing on improving? You said you're in between game, but what else are you looking to improve in this off season before your season gets underway for Carlton?
Just really okay. One thing, you know me and you know how I can get real emotional end games, and that's something I really wanna improve on. Just being calm the whole time and knowing what's the answer to what. Like I don't need to really get mad. Like you can get pissed off, but it has to stay within. But sometimes I show it, which can be good sometimes, but it can be bad too. So what I'm trying to do is contain more and just be be a killer, be a silent killer, way more.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you show any sign of vulnerability, your opponent's going to pick up on that, and any good player will take advantage of it. So, yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. Like that could be the final step that you got to take, and then you're unleashed, bro. That's what I
Yeah.
think. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So now, final question, and then we'll wrap it up. I just want to ask you: do you know what your plans are for next year?
We have a plan in place, but honestly, when I talk to agents and when I meet with them, they always tell me one thing. They always tell me, yo, it's basketball, so you can't make like a specific plan because you never know where things are gonna be in 1 year. You don't know how good your stats are gonna be or how they can drop. So in my head, the plan right now is to go play pro. Where that is a question I can't even answer right now because at the end of the day, we all have a goal, right? And people will tell you their goal is to go to the league. But my real goal at the end of this is to be comfortable, to make my people be comfortable, and to just build something with basketball in Montreal. But to do that, I understand I have to be a successful basketball player. And being successful at basketball is just it's not just being in the league. It's just getting paid well while playing basketball and being able to share what you learn with kids, younger guys. And like my closest people, they think if I do everything the right way, I have a chance to to make big time money. And big time money is where it's in the league, right? They think if I do everything the right way, I have my chances. But also they think even if I do the right things the right way, a 6'1" point guard, like you need everything to work out, even if you're fucking good.
Yeah.
So I understand that, and I feel like I'm in a good place because I understand no matter what, league or not, I will make big money with this, and I'm gonna be able to help people do something with basketball, and that's pretty much my goal. So I don't put a ceiling and I don't put a floor.
Hmm.
So
That's a
that's it.
good way to look at it for sure. I know that you're gonna do something special. We just don't know where yet,
Mhm.
but you'll be good, bro. You'll be good
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks again so much for taking the time for this. That about wraps it up for today's episode 204. We'll do this again soon. So when you're making that money, I'll have you on again for sure.
For
All right.
sure. Always my guy.
Thank you, Alain. Take care, bro.
Always.